I don't want when I'm 50 years old, if I have a kid, when I play in a bar somewhere, they say, hey, that's my daddy playing in a bar. It's nothing, no discrimination to people playing in the bar. But I just don't want that kind of life. I want to be like Jay-Z. I want to be tycoon material. I want to be like Puff Daddy. I think the reverse engineer of how I want to create my own formula to reach there plays a crucial part. You need to have that drive first. A drive to reach somewhere.
Today I have a special guest with me. His name is Dennis Lau.
Hi, this is Dennis Lau here. Before that, I want you to pour you a cup of nice drip black coffee. This comes in a bag. It's called a Maverick blend. Very simple. What you do is just take out here, tear off the top, and then just put it here. And it's so simple. This is one of the best big drip coffee you will ever drink.
So how do you came across this coffee brand?
So I know a guy, a good friend of mine, his name is Maverick. As simple as that, hence the name of the coffee. Maverick Coffee. And because I'm not a barista or I can't brew my own coffee every day at home, right? So I think this drip coffee that he introduced to me works really well for me, and we are coming out with our new upcoming Maverick and Dennis Lau, the Chosen blend of coffee as well.
Right.
Yeah, so it will be coming out soon, very soon enough. So just stay tuned. Maverick coffee, cheers.
So Dennis, how do you begin your career as a musician? When do you started music?
I majored in two instruments, the violin and the piano. Piano at 3 years old, violin at 7 years old. My mom is a piano teacher. I've been doing music since I was 3 years old.
Wow.
So I'm a classically trained pianist and a violinist. And eventually, when I finished my SPM, I started off teaching first. Because my mom is a piano teacher. Then I started off doing random gigs, from playing in hotels, playing in the lounge, doing weddings, organizing a live band for weddings. And eventually, I felt that it's time for me to go solo or to be presented more as a solo artist. So I started writing songs, because the only way to make yourself a bit more distinct or significant from other is you have your own original materials. And hence I started writing songs. I started writing songs for artists, and I came out with my own album. I did several albums. I continued doing shows, and I eventually do my music videos, create my own video production company and my entertainment company, and then I do my concerts and so forth. Yeah.
When you first decided that, okay, I want to make this my career,
yeah.
When was it? How old were you at that time?
I was 17 and I just finished SPM. I just started off my music career in teaching first. Back then, I really didn't know what to do. And the only thing I think my mom thought that I was good at was music. So she said, you better be like me. You start teaching first. You start teaching. You don't work in some McDonald's or whatever. Because back then, a lot of my friends, they want to work in McDonald's. Because at McDonald's or Parkson, you work as a salesperson at Parkson, you will earn about $3.50 an hour. So my mom said, you started off teaching first, and you see where it goes. Be like me, be my own boss. If I want to teach, I teach. If I don't want to teach, I take holiday.
Oh,
so I started off teaching.
So your mom is actually pretty entrepreneurial, huh?
No, I wouldn't say. I think that she just want me to get a better deal than working in McDonald's.
350 per hour.
Yeah.
So how much you got for teaching per hour?
Yeah, for teaching back then, you work in a music school, they give you a percentage. You earn about $40 to $50 an hour.
Wow.
Hey, hello.
Wow.
Yeah, so I did multiple jobs at the same time. I teach 5 to 6 days a week, or maybe 7 days a week. So that gives me about $3,000 to $4,000 a month. I teach different music school. Listen carefully, different music school, and also teach privately at home. And also I do lounge gigs. I perform in the Maya Hotel opposite Zouk last time. Opposite Old Zouk last time. I did 4 to 5 days of lounge, playing in the lounge. So I earn about $3,000 to $4,000 there. And also I do wedding shows during weekends. So I earn a decent living, about 8 to 9 grand for a student.
Wow!
In a university or in a college back then. And I feel that if I were to go to Australia, I wouldn't get that kind of salary.
Wow. When I was 17 years old, I was still waiting for my mother to give me money lah.
Yeah. So no lah, but that happened in 2003 lah. That time I was 18 years old. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so from that time, you get a taste of how is it like doing gigs and all.
Yep.
Right? So you realize that it earns money. But I've known so many people who do gigs. But going from gig to be a successful commercial musician, it's a whole different story altogether. So how did you actually went from this just gigs and everything and then turning into a commercial musician that does well?
I think that's a great question. I think that really boils down to your mindset, what you really want in life. Like for me, I was comfortable doing those jobs. I was really, you earn 8-9 grand, I think you're quite okay back then as a student. But I think it's about the mindset of what you really want to be when you are 50 years old. So back then I was already thinking, when I'm 50 years old, what I want to be. I don't want when I'm 50 years old, my kid, if I have a kid, when I play in a bar somewhere, they say, hey, that's my daddy playing in a bar. It's nothing, no discrimination to people playing in the bar. But I just don't want that kind of life. I want to be like Jay-Z. I want to be like, okay, I'm telling you my mindset back then, okay? I want to be tycoon material. I want to be a Puff Daddy. I think the reverse engineer of how I want to create my own formula to reach there plays a crucial part. You need to have that drive first, a drive to reach somewhere. So my drive is to be a musical tycoon back then. So I need to know if I continue playing in a bar, will it lead me to that or not? So that's why I say no discrimination to people playing in the bar or a lounge or whatever. They are still great musicians. But do they have the drive to do that or not? Right. So back then I have the drive to do that. So you really need to work. It's not an overnight success thing. You need to have a formula. You need to start somewhere. You need to take baby steps. So the first thing I figure out I need to do is I need to write my own original materials.
Okay.
So meaning you have to write your own songs.
Basically, during that time, you start realizing one thing that, no offense to people playing in the bar, but you need a formula. You need a way to actually get there, right?
Yep.
So then your first step is actually thinking about writing music.
Yeah, you have to write your own music. There's no way any of these successful artists or a musical mogul like DJ Khaled, P. Diddy, or Jay-Z, they don't write their own materials. They have to write their own materials, and they have to have substance in their materials as well. So I started off writing songs. I consulted or I asked the help of many great musicians or many mentors like Pete Teo. I have to give credit to Pete Teo. He taught me how to write my first song, and still I embodied his formula till today. So that's how I started off. I write a few songs, and I go. And one thing you have to know is to work with different artists, to work with different musicians, or write songs for different celebrities or personalities or singers, is you just need to ask. You just need to ask them. That's what I do. Every show that I perform in, any corporate show that I perform, regardless what level of musicians you are, whether you are the lower tier one or you're not there one, or you just need to be bold to ask them. Okay,
before we go into the asking part, we'll save that for a little bit later. Okay, so you were saying that your steps of success was the fact that you decided that you're going to write your own songs, right? So you got yourself a mentor, you learn how to write your own songs and so on. Now, but I also know many musicians who wrote their own songs, but they're nowhere near success, right?
Yeah.
So how did you actually break through the part? I mean, there are a lot of talented people, right? But they do not know how to, in my opinion, they do not know how to market themselves, or they do not know how to find the opportunity or communicate out that they're good. So how did you discover that way? Or did you actually gone through a journey as well where you write and then you're like, all these are not going to go anywhere, people don't appreciate it and stuff like that?
Good question also. Let's say you plant this vegetable. Let's say you plant a cucumber, I'm talking about just simple stuff. Tomato, cucumber, carrot or whatever. This cucumber is like the most premium grade cucumber, as organic as possible.
Okay.
As sweet as possible, as big as possible, as fresh as possible, and then you bring this so great cucumber to a good chef. There is no chance he will say it's a bad cucumber, right? So first step, you need to make sure your ingredients is good.
Okay.
It means the song that I write, is okay, is good, is acceptable. So your chance of him rejecting that thing is pretty much low lah. And then the second part is, so the first thing is make sure your ingredients is
So make
good.
sure you're good enough with what you do,
Yeah.
right?
Second thing, don't afraid to ask. I feel that a lot of people, they fear rejection. So to me, rejection is normal. I face rejection as well. Are you afraid of these two letters? These two alphabets? No. N-O, no. Ask and you shall receive, ma. But not every time you will receive it. So are you afraid of rejection or not? Are you afraid that people will say, no, I can't do it? An eventual yes will come because you will learn from the no. Right?
Yep.
Change your approach. Maybe you ask too hastily. Maybe you ask too abruptly. Maybe you ask too rudely. Or maybe you ask not at the right time. So a lot of things has to happen at the right time, at the right place, with the right person, and the right materials.
So you were saying just now, right, that every time when you go for a performance, and that's the approach you took. You actually went there and then you asked every single performer.
Yeah, I asked whoever artist that I would love to work with, and I
Yep.
feel that my materials suit that artist. I say, Miss Datuk Shafina Slamat, please give me this chance to present this song to you that I wrote especially for you. But come to my house, I would like to play it for you. If you don't like it, no obligations. If you like it, maybe we can find a way to work together. That's it.
Wow. So have you gotten any no's?
Of course, because okay, artists or celebrities or personalities, whatever you call it, they are just as human as us. They're just as human as me. I'm still human. I'm not anyone. You just need to find the right approach with them. But however, if they have a record label or people who represents them in many tiers, then you need to know how to pitch your things to get to the artist. Because most importantly, the artist is singing it, ma, and she or he has to like the song, ma,
Yeah.
or like the material. But reaching there to the artist may take a bit of time. So if you know the artist directly, it's easier. Or if you don't know, if there's a layer of a manager or an agent, then learn how to speak to the agent or manager. Learn how to talk to them. They are just as human also. Maybe they view you in a different perspective. It's okay. Maybe you get a no from them. Maybe they say, oh, maybe next time I'm not free. It's okay. Get their number. Try to get their contact. Find a win-win situation that you can work with them. Not necessarily you need a song to work with them. Maybe you find them, hey, I may have a gig that is coming soon. I would like to invite you to perform. And there is a paid show. It doesn't only happens with artists or musicians. For instance, I give you a very, 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 very practical and good example. When I first started out, I have 0 pictures. No one was going to take profile picture of me. None. I have none. But I perform in so many weddings. And weddings, there's a slideshow one.
Yes.
They take beautiful pictures of the bride and groom.
Yeah.
Right? I make friends with the photographer. I say, one of the first photographers that I know is Zong. You should interview him. He's a great guy.
Yes, Zong.
Zong, he's a good friend of mine. He's a personal photographer for Tony Robbins.
Yes.
So he takes most of my pictures as well. I'm very grateful for that. One of the first photographers that I met in weddings was Zong, and we were starting off our careers. And he took so nice wedding slideshows that I say, Zong, bro, his company is called The Photos. So I say, can you maybe just capture a bit of my pictures, that I can use in my website or my name card. And in return, if there's a wedding client who asks me, I can recommend your service, and then we can cross referral, cross sell each other. They say, okay. So immediately I got good pictures that I can use for my pitch to my clients. So it's a win-win, right? I got him some jobs, he got me some jobs, I got some pictures. I think it's...
Wow. For those of you guys, the context is this. Zong is Malaysia's top photographer. He takes picture for not just Tony Robbins, but also Donald Trump, Obama along the way as well. He's also a personal friend of mine. Yeah, we should probably do a get together one day.
Yeah.
Talk about the art scene and everything, all right? Yeah, because you guys really made a name in Malaysia for this. Now, going back to the story. Before that, if you guys would like to see an interview with Zong, put a thumbs up down in the comments below. Now, one thing is this. You were saying that during the time you were doing a lot of wedding gigs and so on, and then how you actually become more resourceful, getting all these people to help you out as well. Yeah, but when did you get your first big break?
I think when you start doing your own original materials, you start being a bit more original rather than playing cover songs. It's not that you can't play cover songs, you can also play, but integrate it with your own original music or your materials. People will start noticing you. And it's also not about just playing it on stage and say, oh, this is my new song, blah, 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 and just play. you have to tell people your story about your song. Why do you do this song? What inspired you to do this song? And you don't need to create a long ass story, like a Harry Potter book, right? You just try to master it into just 2 seconds. Like for example, if you can go on YouTube, you can check it out. Prelude in F minor, Prelude in F minor, is one of the songs that I specially written as a violin and saxophone duet. And that song took me everywhere in the world because it was so unique at the time that no one had ever done a violin and saxophone duet. I tell everyone the same story one. This song, where I go to any wedding or corporate show or anniversary or birthday or openings or everything, I say the same 2 lines. I say, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you this song. This song has never been performed in this region before. I'm very, very humbled to be performing this song because it's a violin and saxophone duet. I would love to just express it to all of you. Especially dedicated to this event, blah, 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 birthday, Prelude in F minor. Welcoming Malaysia's #1 saxophonist, done. And then just play. Because if your material is good, your song is good enough, your impact and your combination of the performance, your gimmick is good enough, and your storyline is good enough, people will melt.
So I just want to highlight on this part, right? I think for a lot of people out there, not just whether you're a musician or anyone else, but the fact that there are many people who are very good in their art. But I think they do not understand that being just good in your art is, or either your skill set, is not enough. There needs to be a lot more things. You need to learn how to market it. You need to learn how to tell a story. It doesn't require you to be the great salesman, right? But you need to understand what elements that are involved to convince people to even give it a chance to like it. Yeah, and that's something that I think even a programmer has this kind of issue. I've met crazy good programmers, but they just do not know how to socialize or either tell a story about their skill. And that's where they end up being so good, but not being paid well. Yeah. And I think that you are someone who definitely has mastered that pretty well.
It takes experience. I mean, from day one, I'm not the best violinist. I have to please let people know I'm not the best violinist. But I think that in terms of creating my own materials or being able to showcase my own materials out there, I'm pretty much a cut above the rest. And you have to have that mentality to be a cut above the rest and want to be a cut above the rest also. Right. Because if you don't have that, then you don't have the drive. You don't have the drive, you'll be afraid of rejection, you'll be afraid of obstacles, and you feel that, hey, one time kena say no like that, then you say that, oh, why am I doing this? And also, people will give you many different feedbacks. They will say that, hey, don't waste your time doing this. You're wasting your money doing this. Oh, and also one thing, you must also know that don't stinge on investing in yourself. In terms of your tools, in terms of your knowledge, in terms of your outfit, in terms of your presentation, don't stinge on it.
Yeah, so before you go into that part, right, talking about what are some of the skill sets you need and how do you actually make this path into a success for you and subsequently pivoting, right? I want to highlight on this part that I really want to know from you. I think as musicians all the more, when you are trying to make a career and you believe you have certain value and something that you're good at, I believe there will be a lot of people who actually come up and say like, what makes you think that you're so good? You write songs. There's also the other guy who writes songs. I think he's better. What makes you think that you're so unique?
Is there
you're violinist.
Is there another violinist who writes songs?
Yes, stuff like that. So they will start asking questions, right? And how do you deal with that? Because I think a lot of people also deal with imposter syndrome, right? I mean, not just in the career of arts, but in a lot of other things. So how do you deal with that?
You just need to shut off the noise. You need to filter first and then shut off the noise. Because if you don't filter it well enough, you will take in all this as personal attacks. Most of the time, people say all this is because of jealousy. Because they can't achieve. They can't achieve what they could or they want. Or they thought they have walked through the route. But no one will know your route better than yourself. So you need to filter. I'm not to say that all these things, whatever your best friend tell you or mother tell you, you have to absorb it and then just don't do it. You have to filter it and then just shut off the noise. That's what I do. Until today, like for instance, when I do a concert, people say it's crazy. You are an instrumentalist. You do a concert that you're going to spend. I did 2 concerts. One I spent 500,000. One I spent 800,000. One night, pop, gone. People say I'm crazy, but I was able to pull off both shows. I sold out 3,500 packs.
Wow.
And what I did was to organize a concert is pretty much easy when you have money. It's not to say I have a lot of money, but I have a lot of supporters or companies that see the talent in me, that they're willing to sponsor the money. But the hardest part in making your concert a success is when you sell tickets. Hey, Peter, buy lah, support lah, wey. 2 tickets lah, bro. Can lah, bro. Bro, for 3 months, 2-3 months, I just go out there every night just to sell tickets. Every night, just to sell tickets. Just to go any bar or not any bar lah. I mean, any places that I'm going for dinner or whatever. I just go there and sell tickets. Bro, 10 tickets lah, bro. Drink with you lah, bro. 20% for you lah, bro. Some more my concert before that got pre-cocktail and after party, bro. Which concert got there? Okay, cheers, 10 tickets, okay, bye. Next day, send 10 tickets. Do it, because if you don't do, who's going to do? You should be a better salesman than any salesman out there.
Having said about this, right, I'm sure that the other people actually say, Dennis, you're just like shucks and diddy. You do your thing and then you think you're very good, but you're not. And you're not traditional. I mean, what do I put it this way, right? Is that, for example, in the world of media as well, there is a distinction between traditional filmmakers who are into cinematography and everything all. Some of them I've heard that they dislike YouTubers. They feel that YouTube short films are not real short films because you have never gone through real production house, you have never gone through the real journey of how a filmmaker is supposed to be. Okay, mine is not mine, it's just a show. Okay, it's not film. But they actually have this kind of perspective, right? What's your thought about that?
I think this is a good analogy that you can give, which I can give you a traditional analogy also. Just like Kenny G, right? He plays the simplest saxophone lines. And people say that, that's not real jazz, right? What is real jazz? But Kenny G earns more money than any saxophonist. Alright? You go to any hotel lobby, hotel toilet, you surely hear his music on. And all these are money that he's earning without you knowing also. Without him even knowing. And he's a great jazz saxophonist. He's got all the techniques of a jazz saxophonist. But he just prefers commercial songs, works best for him. When he plays a simple tune, his tone, his technicality, his whole package works for him. And he's the richest saxophonist in the whole wide world. Why care when you are earning so much?
Just to that. I agree. I think definitely at the end of the day, success is the best revenge in that sense. But not so nice to say it, but that's the truth, right? At the end of the day, it's about your life. And the moment you're doing well, it doesn't really matter, right? Yeah. But let's move on to the next part. So after you have achieved quite an amazing career in music, today you're producing for many famous artists. You're quite sought after musician as well. How did you end up from a musician, then you own your production company, and then subsequently pivoting into e-commerce? So how do you actually get into video production? I suppose that part is quite straightforward, right? Because you probably need to produce a music video and so on.
Yeah. I used to have a video production company. I think it's quite natural for me to have it because I need some videographers or editors to shoot for my music videos also, and subsequently do some videos for my network that has been engaging me, and also to be a one-stop center to provide their entertainment for them, the sound system, lighting system, and also the video production also, and the commercial part of it. So I think from there, how I pivot to do the video production was quite simple. What was quite straightforward, and it's natural for me to do it. But I think the real turning point was doing MCO. I pivoted to selling livestock, kampung chickens.
Allow chicken.
Allow Food King.
Allow Food King. Yeah. Those of you who want to order like seafood, chicken, whatnot. Yeah, you can check out Allow Food King.
Yeah, allowfoodking.com. But that is a B2C experimental business. So because some of my friends or people who knows me, they know that I really like to eat. I like to eat good food. Does not necessarily need to be expensive food, but it's just got to be good food. During MCO, I had a friend of mine who slaughters chicken send some kampung chicken for me to try. Yeah, I kind of like the taste of kampung chicken because I eat it since I was young. Then I started selling it. Somewhere I just started to share it with my neighborhood group chat. On one day, I just say that I just put on 18th of April or 20th of April or something, it was Sunday. I just put it in group chat. Who likes and eat kampung chicken? I put there, allow. Then they say, oh, me. Then I say, okay, I'm getting some kampung chickens from a very reliable source on Tuesday delivery. Just on Tuesday, it will be free delivery because we are all neighbors. Who is interested, please PM me. Allow, put there. I put it as simple as possible. I want to brand it as simple as possible because I don't want people to know who am I, Dennis Lau or whatever. and it's easy to remember, right? Allow. Then they start PMing me, okay, first day I want 18 chickens, first day I want 1 chicken, 2 chickens. So the first day I sold 18 chickens. I think, okay lah, I mean, it's not a great margin. I earn about 100 plus, just earning 18 chickens. Then I slept. And the funny thing is, Monday, the next day, 7:30, my phone started ringing. Allow, this is Mrs. Ong here. I'm from Mont Kiara here. You got to sell the chicken. Are you the chicken low? 1 kg, how much? Then 5 minutes later, allow, 我 Miss Lim 呢邊我 SS2 呢邊你有冇賣雞你有冇賣雞金豐雞你嘅金豐雞係幾多鐳So I'm like, eh? So the next day, I sold 34 chickens. So in 24 hours, I sold 52 chickens. Right?
Wow.
I didn't notice, I didn't expect it, that the group chat that I sent to, which is my neighborhood group chat, because people had nothing to do during MCO, they always send out to their other group chats, which is other areas. So everyone's starting find me for chicken. No. So the next day I sold 34 chickens, so 24 hours I sold 52 chickens. Then I say, shit man, this thing, I have no music to do, I can't play my music anywhere. But I sold 52 chickens in 24 hours. So might as well I create a landing page. So the time I created my landing page was mychickenking.shop. So every day, people, all these aunties, Chinese aunties, they start calling me, they say, hey, your chicken, how much? So the orders came out to 50, 70, 100, 200, 250 a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
250 chickens a day.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's quite funny. Suddenly I have to manage aunties that buys 250 chickens for me. But having said that, it's not. And
no one knew that you are the violinist, right?
No, I didn't need to let people know I'm the violinist selling chicken one.
Okay, now everyone know already.
Then, but at the same time, I need to create some marketing. That's why when I said it earlier, it's a B2C experimental business. Because I want to see how far can this business take me. And I want to do the best that I can in this as well. So I started sending some chickens to my friends, to my personality friends like Amber Chia, Wong Chui Ling, Douglas Lim, and so forth, right? I tell them, if you don't want to post the picture of the chicken on your page, it's okay. Just take a selfie with the chicken and send it to me. So I have these marketing materials to share with the aunties. That, hey, you're not buying a normal chicken, no, you're buying Amber Chia, Xiong Kok Kai嘅 Kampong Kai啫嘛. So they love it. But I have to say that not everything is smooth sailing. Because chicken, I realize chicken is like a commodity. The price go up, go down. It's like petrol. Always go up, go down. In the auntie business, right, you cannot tell them next day price go up one. They'll say, hey, you bluff my money. I support you 20 chickens in a day, you want to raise my price. You cannot earn. So you need to create announcement. Just like government asks you to pump petrol like that. Saturday, one last round, $33. Sunday will go up to $35 a day. Who wants chicken faster buy now? Wow, everyone will just swarm in to book the chicken for Saturday. Just to save the $2. It's so funny. So there's many obstacles. That's number one obstacle. Number two obstacle is, do you know that aunties, Chinese aunties, they cannot accept male chicken. They say male chicken is poisonous inside.
Really?
Yeah. But how you know? You eating KFC every day is male chicken or female chicken, right? But for free-range kampung chicken, there's only one female.
Oh.
There's only one female chicken. So male chickens is cheaper 20% than female kampung chickens one. So what I did was to do an experiment also. So what I'm trying to tell you now is you need to do trial and error. You need to have this approach that you want to do this trial and error, to adopt this trial and error thing, because you want to do it well, right? So 100 chickens, I inject 10% male chicken just to control the price. Right? Chinese auntie cannot accept one. They will receive the chicken, they go inside, pull out 2 balls out, they'll say, why you bluff me? You say you sell me female chicken, but why is it male chicken? So you cannot bluff aunties, you cannot bluff a customer. So in any business that you do, regardless, selling coffee, you're selling anything at all, selling chocolates, you're selling cakes or biscuit, number 101, number one rule, say sorry. You must do that. I can do that, no problem.
But it's okay. I can imagine the auntie holding up the chickens, like telling their neighbor, "Hey, my chicken amber chow so okay."
Yeah, they ask me funny question, no? They will send me 5 minutes voice message just to order 10 chickens. You have to listen. Because you don't listen, how you get a chicken order, right? Alawa, 我同你講your chicken I want to order 10 chicken. 3 chicken I want the whole chicken because I want to cook soup. 2 chickens I want to cut 16, I want to cook curry. 3 chickens, when you want to send the chicken Wednesday I got my singing class. Can you send on Thursday? I think Wednesday okay but you have to cut the chicken for me. 3 chicken I cut 8 for me because I want to cook this. Wow, I listen It's okay. Entertain the aunties. Add value to your customers.
So I was wondering to myself, right? How did you actually became so much more financial savvy? And why are you so much more business minded? Yeah, because I personally have the experience of my own sister-in-law. She is a DJ. And I can see that commercial is very much little in their mind. But most of the time, her focus is just about being better at what she does. Yeah, and when it comes to commercial stuff, it feels like, nah, I'm not so interested in those kind of areas, Yeah, so what made you so much more pragmatic? Yeah, so much more practical?
I think it's a combination of few things. I also can tell you why they are like that. So, number one, lazy to learn. Yeah, they're lazy to learn. A lot of artists, I would have to say that, and if you are listening to that, you should learn from that. You should know, not only, does not mean that you are an artist, you have to do business. You have to know when you write a piece of music, what is your royalty for the music? What is your copyright for the music? How do you have 100% copyright for the music? What is your division with your publishing house that you have ownership of the music? You have to understand that because everything is about check and balance. If you are lazy to know about that, people will cheat you. The risk of getting cheated and then have the repercussions to salvage it will be very high.
Yeah.
So I think adapt yourself to learn, regardless of what level. And that is what I've been through it before, I have to say that. And also I adopt the habit to learn. I want to know when I create a piece of music, when I sell chicken, where is my margin? What is my margin? How much can I earn? I need to know that. When you create a piece of music, when you work with your publishing house, when you allow someone to play your music, regardless it's a shop or it's another singer or it's another recording company, or corporate company, what is your right in that? You need to know. When you slowly adopt that habit in wanting to learn more, I think it's natural that you will see not earning a lot of money, but you know where your income stream comes from. And that is very important. And also, you need to adopt the ritual of knowing what your money is spent for. I think a lot of people, they just spend more than they can earn. It's not to say I'm kamsiap, no. I just want to, it's about spending wisely.
Yeah.
Money is forever in this world to be earned one. There's a lot of water tap for you to open. Whether it's in the food water tap, you want to sell alcohol, you want to sell coffee, you want to do music, you want to build house, you want to whatever. There's a lot of water tap for you to open. But what water tap can you open and how consistent is that water tap that drips money to you?
One last thing. If there's anyone out there who's in the art industry or either the music industry or whatsoever, they are thinking about commercializing and moving up to be a professional or whatnot, young budding artists, what is one advice that you give them?
I think number one, don't think about commercializing it first. Don't commercialize it first. Work on your craft. Work on your ingredients. Work on what you do best. Really make sure that what you do best, once your craft is really top notch, it's a value that you can share with people, make sure it's consistent. You don't like 2 days no practice it, then you gone, then the thing gone already. And then make sure you have quality. So this formula of VCQ, value, consistency, and quality, is I think it's it's a must for all content creators and also for everyone. So make sure your value is very, very, very good. It's second to none. What is the value that you can give that others can't give? And make sure your value that you can give is always consistent. Today you're serving this restaurant a good cucumber, next week not good cucumber. How's the restaurant going to get from you? And make sure your quality is always consistent also.
That's a great advice. So that's Dennis Lau, one of the most interesting person that I've met. So I hope you guys have learned a lot from this particular session. If you like more sessions like this, please give us a thumbs up down in the comment below. Thank you very much, Dennis.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. And not only his channel, it's also my channel, Dennis Violin, Instagram, Dennis Violin, YouTube, Dennis Lau TV, and Facebook, Dennis Lau Violin as well.
Go and follow Dennis Lau's page.
Yeah.
See you guys next week.
See you.